Once upon a time, two friends joined forces to bring you the best in horror entertainment. Brian from the north, Tim from the south, each bringing their own unique perspective to the horror community. Movie reviews, Blu-ray releases, beer pairings, games, and more. Welcome to your new home for horror. This is Civil Gore.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Civil Gore Podcast. This is our September Discmemberment. I am your host, Tim.
And this is Brian. And it's technically Dismemberment Part 1 for September. Because
yes.
This was I don't think this has happened before, where we literally had the Dismemberment ready to go. And then they snuck in a whole bunch of titles on Tim to he had to redo it. But thank God it's like the second half of it. So,
yeah.
But, I mean, and I'll tell you, the second half is going to be a doozy with some of those titles. I looked ahead. And I didn't even heard of some of those films, let alone, like, I don't even know. Like, literally, there's one title out there that we basically need in order to just even say we need that explicit content warning.
Yeah. The second part of this will definitely have an explicit tag. Yeah, we had, like, I don't know, it was not terrible. It was like 26 releases or something. And then, like, at the last minute, they threw in, like, 9 more. So we were, like, up to 37. And Brian and I have done this long enough. We kind of know what a Discmemberment length will be, and based on the number of releases. And when you get over 30, really anything over like 25, 26 is like the max we want to do. When you get over 30, man, it's our voices are shot. We're having to record another like regular episode on top of this, so I just said let's split this one. So we're going to bring you the first half, which will be the first 2 weeks of September, and then in time for the third week of September we'll release the second half. September is always kind of usually a heavy month because the summer is kind of a slump, and then you have September, October really gears up for horror.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do tonight, and it's only 10 releases, so we'll get you out of here pretty quick for this first part.
Yes. All
right. First week up is September 6th. As you're hearing this, we have some reissues here. We have Kino Lorber's re-releasing Twice Told Tales and The Oblong Box, two great classic horror titles. Twice Told Tales is really, really
and
good.
very fitting for re-release, you know, because it's twice told.
And it's an anthology, so I love my anthologies. And A Quiet Place is getting a 2-film 4K set. So if you want to get both of those on 4K, you can get them in one bundle. And then finally, Halloween Kills is getting a 4K Steelbook at Best Buy, who is kind of known for their Steelbook releases.
Yeah, and that's a good one in case if you don't have it yet and you want to pick it up in anticipation of the Halloween Ends, which will be released just over a month away. I can't believe it. I feel like at one point I felt like, oh my God, it's going to be forever before that movie gets here. And all of a sudden it's like next month.
Right around the corner,
yeah, which is very exciting, and it's for home. It's debuting again on Peacock and theaters simultaneously. So if for some if you want to, for some reason, if you don't don't want to schlep to the local theater, or you just want to do like a whole fun party at home, which there is something cool about that. I have to say, as much as I like, it's just fun to go in the theater with a whole crowd and everything. But if you also get a bunch of friends over, and you're ordering some food and get some drinks, and you're all watching it on a nice TV.
That's always fun. And you can take breaks.
Something fun too. Like, how often do you get to debut a movie basically at your own home theater like that, of that caliber?
I know we've done that before in the past. Even if it was the $20 ones, even when you had to rent it and it's like theater to home, we've made like special movie nights if it's a movie the kids really want to see, usually like a family movie, and I'll say, you know what? $20, totally worth it. We'll get popcorn, we'll get dinner, we'll all gather around as a family and watch, and we have a blast. I have a great time. So it's, I don't even mind the direct to home stuff because $20 is dirt cheap compared to taking a family of 4 to the theater.
I mean, it really is. It's hard when you and then not for nothing, but you know what, when you get into our age, me and Tim, that like pause feature to run to the bathroom should you need it is a nice little thing. So I'm going to make a whole night of it. I'm going to we're going to, Julie and I will probably order in some good food, have some good beers with it. That's another thing. You can have some, either drinks of your choice. I know some theaters do have drinks, but you're limited to what they have. Maybe we should do that, Tim, and then we can share it on social media, our themed Halloween kills nights.
Yeah, and you know what? We will have to do another roundtable. I think that one deserves a roundtable.
Yeah, we gotta. We'll
sure.
definitely we'll get in touch with Emily, Ken, and Cone because I'm sure that will be that's always a good roundtable. I think that group is fun.
Yeah. All right, so there's only one release this week.
So guess what? It's our pick of the week.
It is our pick of the week. No surprise. But you know what? This would have probably been my pick of the week regardless.
Right. I agree. This is one of me and Tim's favorites. And I was going to say, though, it's funny. It's like, you'd have to be a really bad movie this week to not make pick of the week if you're the only one. But, yeah, this is one of our all-time favorites, I think. It's right up our alley when you hear which one it is.
And this is a double dip for me. I do have the base Blu-ray for this one, but I believe I may double dip because I really love this movie.
Yeah, I may do
this
that as
is,
well.
The Funhouse 4K 1981 from Shout Factory. The carnival is a place for fun and laughter, but not for Amy and her friends. When their childish dare to stay all night in the spooky funhouse backfires, it leaves a trail of dismembered teenagers a mile long in Tobe Hooper's classic video nasty era slasher. Great movie. I actually, funnily enough, I read the book of this before I watched the movie. This was Dean Koontz did the novelization.
I didn't know there was one. Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting that I accidentally watched the book. And then when I was watching the movie, I was like, man, this looks familiar. Yeah, I'd already read it. Yeah, this is a great movie. Has one of the more twisted villains that you've ever seen on film in terms of just the look, the imaginative look of the freak in the funhouse.
Plus, mix a horror movie and a carnival/theme park. You got me and Tim. I mean, you pulled us in right there. That's like hook, line, sinker. There's no way you're not getting us to watch this.
Yeah, we featured this one on
an
episode way back in the day.
So and this was one of the early like my horror cable movies when I had cable. Like they was always on the movie channel back in the day when I only had HBO and movie channel. But this was a constant on the movie channel that I used to watch, and I remember just like from the first day I saw it, I loved it. So.
All right, so this has a 2-disc set. One is the 4K Blu-ray, one is the regular. We have a brand new 4K restoration of the film from the original camera negative and an audio commentary with director Tobe Hooper, moderated by filmmaker Tim Sullivan. Brand new 4K restoration also on the Blu-ray. And we have a few new features here. These are interviews. New Let's Spend the Night Together, an interview with actor Miles Chapin. New Carnival of Blood, an interview with actor Largo Woodruff. New Dance in the Dark Ride, an interview with actor Wayne Doba.
That's funny.
New Alive, 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 an interview with special effects artist Craig Reardon. That aforementioned audio commentary with Tobe Hooper and Tim Sullivan. The Barker Speaks, an interview with actor Kevin Conway. Something Wicked This Way Comes, an interview with the executive producer Mark L. Lester. Carnival Music, an interview with composer John Beal. Audio interview with actor William Finley. Additional scenes added to the network television broadcast version. TV spots, radio spots, paperback book advertisement. There you go. And theatrical trailer. So yeah, that's probably worth a double dip for me just because I'd like to have this one in 4K. And the bonus interviews that are new. That's always
I like at least when they make a 4K release like that. You're double dipping, but you're gonna get like a little topping on it.
Yeah, you get it gives you a little bit more incentive, I guess, to just say I'm not wasting my money.
Yeah.
All right, and that was it for September 6th, The Funhouse, 1981. All right, and here are the releases for September 13th. First up, we have from Paramount, Friday the 13th, 4K, 1980. Terror and suspense abound in this 24-hour nightmare of blood. You guys know what Friday the 13th is, but I'm going to read this anyway because it's entertaining. Yeah. Camp Crystal Lake has been shuttered for over 20 years due to several vicious and unsolved murders. The camp's new owner and 7 young counselors are readying the property for reopening despite warnings of a, quote, death curse.
It's called a death curse.
By local residents. The curse proves true on Friday the 13th as one by one each of the counselors is stalked by a violent killer. This film is widely acclaimed for its horrifying and creative murder sequences.
Gee, thanks for that added thing. Like we didn't know, It's only been one of the most successful slashers of all time. But thanks for telling us that it's widely acclaimed.
Special features here were only the ones listed were unrated and theatrical cuts. So I don't know if there's any other extras on here, but if you want just the movie in a 4K version, here's your chance. Of course, I've got the big box set. I don't plan on double dipping on this one.
No, if you are a Friday the 13th fan and you don't have that set, especially because it at one point dropped for a long time at like under $100. I mean, that thing was worth it at the price we paid for it.
Exactly.
And that was probably one of the biggest releases of that year. And that was like the first like pandemic summer, right? That got released, I think, when
Yeah.
And we were waiting for it. It didn't come out until the fall, but I remember we all pre-ordered it over the summer. So
Yeah, that's a great set.
yeah, the next one is another 1980s a classic, moved up to 4K from Shout Factory. That another one of a big favorite of me and Tim's, and that's The Fog in 4K, 1980. And if you don't know the topic, the summary for this one, I'll read it again too. But Centennial celebration are underway in seaside town of Antonio Bay. Glowing fog rolls in, and all hell breaks loose. This one's got a lot of features on it, though. I don't think any are new, though. However, I believe they are all the same from the original version.
Right, it's just the audio tracks are new.
But I'll read them quickly anyway. And if you don't own this disc and you're a fan of this movie, you must get it because the audio commentaries alone are worth this. First one is from writer-director John Carpenter and writer-producer Deborah Hill. So right there alone, that's great. But then this one, I mean, look at this commentary. Adrian Barbeau, Tom Atkins, and production designer Tommy Lee Wallace do a commentary. So that's awesome. Retribution, uncovering the Carpenter's The Fog. John Carpenter's The Fog. I said The Carpenter. Well, he should be The Carpenter.
He is the Carpenter.
He is the Carpenter.
He is.
But yeah, uncovering John Carpenter's The Fog. The Shape of Things to Come. Oh, wink, wink, nod, nod. John Carpenter's Unfilmed. Introduction by John Carpenter. Scene analysis by John Carpenter. And then you got the bonus disc Blu-ray, which is same commentaries. This is just in Blu-ray, but hey, you get a lot more features here with My Time with Terror, an interview with actress Jamie Lee Curtis. Dean of Darkness, an interview with cinematographer Dean Cundy. Tales from the Mist, Inside the Fog. Fear on Film, Inside the Fog. The Fog, storyboard to film. Horrors, Hallowed Grounds, a look at the film's original locations. Outtakes, special effects tests, teaser trailers, theatrical trailers, trailers from Hell filmmaker Mick Garris on The Fog, TV spots, photo galleries, and storyboards. And I love this one, too, because it's got a little special thing, because you got Jamie Lee Curtis and Tom Atkins in there, of course, both from respective Halloween films, including technically, remember, we have that little trivia that they were in Halloween 3 together, but it was just Jamie Lee Curtis's voice.
Yeah,
Still, interesting little piece of trivia there.
And I can vouch for this disc because I've gone through all those extras on the regular edition Blu-ray, that was the non-4K edition, I should say. So I've gone through every extra and every commentary, and it was just a blast.
What a good movie that must be in 4K though. I bet that's really...
I'm almost tempted to double dip on this one only because my copy of The Fog on Blu-ray is signed by Adrian Barbeau.
Oh yeah, and then you can put that one away in the bar bank.
In the vault, yeah. I can put that one. I can vault that one and then have my playing copy as the 4K version.
Yeah.
Next up from RLJ Entertainment, a series that I've recently binged. I had watched a couple of episodes and then I was like, you know what? I need to finish this thing off. Yep. So I'm almost caught up now. This is Eli Roth's History of Horror Season 3 on Shudder. Came out last year, the third season. An in-depth look at the history and pop cultural significance of horror films. A great show. I love it's just a constant stream of industry professionals and actors and directors and producers and special. I mean, it's got like representation from all aspects of the horror film industry, even some that you wouldn't think, like Jack Black is in there. So you get all kinds of really cool. It's not just Eli Roth talk. I guess there's some people that some are not fans of Eli Roth, some are, but just bear in mind it's not just him talking through the whole thing. It's really a documentary of tons of different inputs from all over the industry.
Yeah,
which is really fun.
And you know what? You may have problems with Eli Roth, but you know what? I like him for the same reason I like Tarantino. They love their craft. Mm-hmm. They love their film. Same thing I hear about Kevin Smith. Like, oh, he does his talk too much. But look what he's talking about. He loves his craft, and he's talking to you at the level that as a fan, not as the auteur. So
right, exactly.
He doesn't think he's better than you. He's talking to you as a fan of film, just like you. That's why it's like. I mean, I guess I could see why, people don't, if they think they're talking too much or they're always in there. But you know what? I look at it like, hey, here's a guy just like me, lucky enough to make the films, make films, and he loves film. So I want to hear what he has to say about it,
Yeah,
but
exactly. It's definitely worth watching. It's a good series.
And if you like this series, you will be in for a treat when we can talk a little bit more about it once the embargo releases of that top 101 scary moments in horror films, because that's a doozy. So,
yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, so the next one we have up, this is one I've been waiting for. I almost pulled the trigger on it. They had a really limited edition version for like $50 to $60. And I've always wanted to see this because I've heard good things about it. And it's kind of like one of those cult classics a little bit. But I did pre-order the... and this would have been my pick of the week, I think, if the other one that we did pick wasn't so iconic to us. But I do have this on pre-order for the regular special edition version on Amazon. It's Massacre at Central High from 1976 from Synapse. And this is a high school transfer student pushed to the edge of a trio of brutal bullies, resorts to murder to reclaim the school from oppression, and later turns against the students wanting to fill the vacuum of their oppressors. So this one kind of has like that slasher before, really those big 80s slashers.
Yeah, this one's like really early.
But I've heard like a lot of people love this one, and it actually features Kimberly Beck from Friday the 13th, the final chapter, of course, played the sister in there, and that's so it's got some good horror cred in there. But yeah, so I'm actually looking forward to this. I've only seen like clips of it a lot, but I've never actually seen the full movie. So I'm really looking forward to this one. And it's actually got some nice features on it for being a nice little special edition. It's got the high definition 1080p remaster, scanned, transferred, and supervised by director Renee Daalder. And I think this is there's two A's in there. I don't know. I guess you got to pronounce it. Daalder. But and I remember most of the clips you see of it are like they're old, kind of like scratchy. So this is good that they remastered this. Audio interviews by Mike White, the Projection Booth podcast. Again, we were ignored, apparently.
I guess,
where we could have been. I mean, granted, because we haven't seen this one, but, there are other movies we've seen we need to get pulled into this. Featuring interviews with cast members Andrew Stevens, Robert Carradine, Daryl Morey, and Rex Steven Sykes. So, Robert Carradine, there's a familiar name. Audio interview with director Renee Daalder, conducted by horror historian Michael Gingold, of course, from the Gingolden Oldies fame. One of our little favorite horror film historians there. But this one, I love how he's a horror historian. So he's really endeared to us now.
Yeah, he's not even film anymore. He just branches all horror.
Yeah, he's right up there. And I think he's got he's got some kind of like special feature on one of the channels. I know I see him like appear.
He does. Yeah, I've seen Michael Gingold in real life. Like he's not in real life, but like outside of our made up biographies.
Yeah, it's kind of fun when we actually see them, and they're like this. It's almost like a game Tim and I have to see how close we were. Sometimes we're close, sometimes we are so far off it's laughable. But and then finally there's Hell in the Highways, the making of Massacre Central High, and that's a new making of documentary. So that's pretty cool. When you got a movie that's from 1976, you got a brand new making of documentary for it, which is really fun. And they throw in the usual sprinkles there of theatrical trailer, TV spot, radio spot, and still gallery.
Yeah, this one looked really cool. I think the trailer showed just about every kill, but I still want to see this one.
Yeah, that's amazing. The thing. That's like I said, I've seen so many clips and from trailers and stuff like that. I was like, I feel like I've seen the film, but I know I've never seen it.
Next up, this is a weird one. On Unearthed Films, Evil Dead Trap 2, Hideki, 1992. A female projectionist suddenly becomes to the self-realization that she just in fact may be a serial killer responsible for brutally murdering everyone around her. This thing looks... I don't know if it was
I had the same similar reaction, which is kind of fun.
It looked like it was filmed on a PS1. It looks really great. I don't know what the pixelation is going on here, but you're right, Brian. It looks like a full motion video game from back in the day.
Like, remember when it was like a big deal to have like full motion video, but it was really like grainy and like you like were like, but you were still like, oh my god, I'm actually seeing a scene from a movie. That's what it looks like. And if this whole movie is like that, I'm gonna die. I can't. I won't be able to take it.
Well, there's no extras, so you don't have to suffer through any 8-bit extras, at least.
That's true. Good. Thank God. Next one is from Wild Eye Releasing, and it's Slaughter Day from 1991. It's so funny, Slaughter Day only sounds like something from the 80s, but
it really does.
It's way out there in the 90s, 1991. It says, in the rural recesses of Hawaii, a pair of friends must fight an ancient evil force brought to life by a tiki idol that Greg Brady... evil force brought to life by an occult book that possesses a group of construction workers. So the construction workers get possessed, I guess, apparently. Turning them into murderous maniacs. You don't really want construction workers, I think, to come after you. They got a lot of weaponry. That's just
tools.
part of the job,
Yeah.
you know. And they got protected because they have the hard hats, so you can't even hurt them. And anyway, so Tim wrote, "This looks like the best movie ever made with a camcorder rental by you and your friend next door." And
we used to do that, and in my neighborhood, we used to go and rent the camcorders from like Rent-A-Center.
Oh my god!
And then we would use it for the day and make these really bad horror movies.
That's almost like that was like Tim's version of My Date with Drew. Remember, he rented it for like 30 days.
Yeah.
And I just wrote the very super low budget video, but it's like the gore is actually not that bad in it. The gore, I have
it
to
actually
say,
looks like. Usually these type of movies, I'm like, no way. There's no way I'd want to watch. So this one I actually kind of want to see. It looks pretty inventive.
Yeah, like they look like they definitely made an effort on the gore. Like you could tell, like they probably just used to hang around for like years just making cool gore effects. They're like, we might as well film this. And there you go. Now you have Slaughter Tank. But I would want to check. I kind of want to check this out. Maybe it's on Tubi. I should check.
Next up from Epic Pictures, we have Tin Can. Not to be confused with the Kevin Costner vehicle Tin Cup.
Which I was for a second. I was like, oh, okay.
This one came out in 2020. As the world faces a deadly plague, a frontlines parasitologist is imprisoned. Not parapsychologist, a parasitologist is imprisoned in a life suspension chamber. To escape, she must destroy the last of her kind. This one definitely has a sci-fi feel. It reminded me a lot of The Cube.
Yeah, but this one looks good. Actually,
yeah, it does look good. Has an audio commentary by the director, writer, producer. The Last Bell
Who
does
has no
toll.
name, of course.
Yeah, no name. You just have to go look that up yourself. The Last Bell Does Toll, the making of Tin Can featurette. Music video, The Last Bell Does Toll.
Mm-hmm.
Music video, Zaum the Enlightenment, Part 1. Official trailer and Dread trailers.
I think I want to see it just for that Zaum. See what that is.
Zaum the Enlightenment, yeah.
Yeah, is that like a new like a meeting service? You know, it went from Zoom to Zaum.
That's it sounds like something out of Tobin's Spirit Guide.
It does, doesn't it? It seems like on like page 37, like if you need to talk to spirits, use Zaum.
Then Gozer called forth Zaum the Enlightenment Part 1.
Oh, by the way, we gotta get that game, that Ghostbusters game where all four of us can play.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh my, if there's ever a game for us, jeez. Anyway, a final release here before our pick of the week. It is Vertical Entertainment. I think that might be a new one for us. I don't
sounds
think
like
we've had them before. And it's 2022's Abandon. So after a young couple moves into a remote farmhouse with their infant son, already the start of that description, you're in for some bad times there. You never move in there with a new baby into a new house.
It's always a remote farmhouse.
Yeah. Every horror movie knows it's going downhill from there. Anyway, the woman struggles with a postpartum psychosis begins to intensify as the house reveals secrets of its own.
Yep.
And yeah, Tim and I are both in agreement. Michael Shannon and Emma Roberts in a movie, that's it. You don't even have to give us a plot. We'll watch it.
Yeah, Michael Shannon is one of those actors. Like, I like Emma Roberts. I don't go seek out every Emma Roberts movie, but I like her.
When she's in it, it's like a really big plus, I think.
Yeah. But Michael Shannon, I'd watch him in a car insurance commercial. I love that guy. I think he's just freaking awesome.
Yeah, he's so
I
great.
won't watch anything with him.
And it's like, he's one of those guys that, like, no matter what he does, he goes so all in that it's like, it's like you can't not love the guy,
Yeah.
And especially, we gotta support our friend Eric Roberts now with his daughter's film. So
Exactly. No features on this one. I've heard mixed reviews of this one, but I think I would still enjoy it just because it has Michael Shannon in it. I've never failed to not enjoy a Michael Shannon movie.
So freaking good. How do you not like him?
He's so good.
How do you not like that guy?
Even if the rest of the movie sucks, I'm like, well, yeah, but it was a damn good Michael Shannon performance.
Yeah, you basically could just they need to the Michael Shannon cut of those bad movies where it's just all his scenes spliced together.
All right, well, that brings us to our pick of the week. This one is a movie that I guarantee you will stick in your head. Yes. It still sticks in my head to this day. This is from RLJ Entertainment, and I actually put some pretty good extras on this one. This is The Amusement Park from 1975. I think we covered this one on the show when we watched it. An elderly gentleman goes for what he assumes will be an ordinary day at the amusement park, only to find himself in the middle of a hellish nightmare instead. This is a early lost George Romero film. It was made with I can't remember the name of the organization that helped fund this, but it's a movie. It's not, I wouldn't say it's like a horror movie in terms of trying to scare you, but it was kind of
They're disturbing.
It's very disturbing. It's a movie about elderly discrimination of elderly people and what they're going through. And you have this elderly gentleman. He goes to this amusement park, which is kind of like this dreamlike nightmare version of an amusement park. And really the movie plays out like a nightmare. And he keeps running into these aspects of discrimination against the elderly. And you just have to see it. It's weird. It's disturbing. It'll get into your brain. It's really a fascinating movie. And that's why it was our pick of the week. This has a brand new 4K restoration of the film by Indie Collect, audio commentary with Michael Gornick, reopening the park with Suzanne Desrocher Romero, Bill and Bonnie's excellent adventure with Bonnie Hensman, For Your Amusement with artist Ryan Carr, panel interview with Suzanne Desrocher Romero, Sandra Schulberg, Greg Nicotero, and Daniel Kraus, moderated by Shudder's Samuel Zimmerman, the amusement park official brochure, the amusement park script, and a behind-the-scenes photo gallery. Really neat movie. Again, was lost for a long time. Definitely worth seeking out and watching it. It's on Shudder if you want to watch it. But this Blu-ray looks amazing. I'd love to see the listen to the audio commentary and see these panel interviews.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be really fascinating.
I really want to hear that commentary on that, because there's some scenes in there that are just so disturbing and weird, and like I'd love to hear like a description of it, like why they chose that. And it's funny, I've seen so many times they say it's George Romero's scariest film, which is kind of funny. And I think they don't mean scary like, horror scary, but like scary just in other ways. I think when you see what you will, like, I have not it's still in my head from when I saw it.
Yeah, and George Romero was known for his his zombie movies were all satire of popular things going on in society. This is like his most brutal, vicious satire of any movie he's probably ever done. It's really, it's not put forth with a light hand. I mean, this is a heavy-handed, satirical, really painful look at elderly discrimination. So I would highly, highly recommend it. So let's recap the releases for September 13th. I said there was 10 releases. There were actually 9. There was only 10 releases for the first 2 weeks total.
Oh, right.
So we had Friday the 13th 4K and the Fog 4K coming from Shout Factory. If you want to double dip on those, there's a couple new extras on those. The Fog is just a new audio track, though. Same extras as the original release. Eli Roth's History of Horror Season 3. Massacre at Central High from 1976. Good cult movie. I would definitely recommend that one as kind of a second pick of the week.
Yeah, like I said, that would have been my pick of the week 100%, because if it wasn't the amusement park, and I ordered both already. I pre-ordered them, so they're on their way.
Yeah, and that one has some good extras on it. Unearthed Films brings us Evil Dead Trap 2 Hideki from 1992. That's a Japanese horror. I'm not related to like obviously the Bruce Campbell Evil Deads. This is another series.
Or Hideki Matsui, former Yankee baseball player.
Slaughter Day from 1991, Tin Can from 2020, and Abandon 2022, the Michael Shannon Emma Roberts vehicle. And our pick of the week, George Romero's lost film, The Amusement Park, 1975. Highly recommended. Go listen to our show on that one. I don't remember which one it was. I don't think we might have done a feature on that one, actually, if I'm not mistaken.
What, The Amusement Park?
Yeah, I think we either did. We either featured it or we talked a lot about it.
I think we talked about it I'm pretty sure we talked about it as a whatchamacallit, as a when we got the screener, we did the preview.
Yeah,
and I know we talked about it, I think, with EB.
When
we helped him do Coaster Radio. I think we talked. I don't know if it ever made the air. Or we just talked to him about. Oh no, I think we did when he was asking us about some recommendations.
Yeah, I know we've talked about it on the show, so you guys will have to go look that up. All right, guys. So that was our first half of our September Dismemberment. We will be back on September 20th for the second half, and then we'll be rolling right into the October Great Horror releases. So we'll see you back here then.
See ya.